Hope everybody is able to see my screen.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. So as you know that today's is the session of topic is the IoT, right? Internet of Things. So I'll be speaking more with respect to our Internet of Things and in the agricultural, what is the use of agriculture IoT in the agriculture. So before I go and move ahead and talk about the use of the IoT, I would like to give a little bit introduction about the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is a concept of the connecting devices. That means you will have a different types of devices which are connected with the internet, and they are continuously sharing the information, and that is being stored into the cloud servers, and that will be processed and analyzed, and it will be available for you to use on your handheld devices as well as the mobile application. If you talk, so can you, if you see the this screen, so in that screen, Internet of Things is having connected with a wearable, smartphone, vehicles, smart home, lights, flights, and shopping. So everywhere you can see the Internet of Things is available wherever you are wearing. So I'm going to give you some examples of the Internet of Things. Wearable technology. You all are using a smart bands, and we are use these smart bands to connect with the internet as well as to monitor our step count, sleep monitoring, blood pressure, calories. These are a connected device, and these are a wearable device which are using Internet of Things. The technology behind, because it these devices contains some various sensors which sends the data and send it to the app server, and based on that we will put the analytics to know what is the current status and how we can do. These data can be used for the historical access and the predictions, as well as to know the future upcoming diseases as well. So if you are wearing a wearable technology, that will help out around. Another example, if I take about the industrial IoT, you can see the second screen. This is an automated warehouse. In this automated warehouse you can put, so you can put the things, and the machines will be able to take the information, goods, and put into the devices, and after a certain limit humans are not allowed, and you just need to stay at one place and put your device, and that will be machine will be responsible for putting the device and bringing it to you. And these kind of warehouses are being used in the airline industry and as a managing of big warehouses, where we is a very big houses where the a lot of operations are happening. And it is the example of yes, airline. You can see that many ULDs are there. So airlines, because if we talk about the airline is using a very huge handling a very huge number of data or goods to transport from internationally. So this kind of warehouse have been used, and it is only possible with the use of Internet of Things. So now it's coming to it. I am going to use that. What is the use in Internet of Things in the agriculture? According to the, as you know that world population is growing, and our exponential growth. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the world will need to produce 70% more food in 2050, because the agricultural land is shrinking. We are constructing new cities and buildings, so that because our population is getting increased, and then we need to occupy those population as well with the housing needs. So how? So agricultural land is decreasing and population is increases, right? What to do? We need to use the alternate sources. We need to use the how we can use a less amount of soil or vertical farmings by putting that, and then you need to grow the food to serve, help those other people, those new generation which are coming and population. To we should be ready to make the food. So this is how, if I then you can see that there are various kinds of things with the image I am showing it to. In the center, it is the center image is showing the your Wi-Fi industry, then soil moisture, sunlight, their water temperature, drones. These are the different agriculture IoT things that is available, and we will be using it to increase the productivity of the farmer. And these are the real uses of the agriculture IoT in the agriculture. So this was the video which I have taken it from the internet, and this is I've shown it. To hope you have gone that details that what are the different use cases of the Android. Now I would like to tell you some of the use cases what we are going, that is the very popular use cases, right? So these are the some popular use cases which we can use in the as part of IoT in agriculture, and those use cases are data collected by the smart agriculture sensors. So we can deploy the different various sensors like soil moisture, pH sensor, nutrient sensors, and other sensors in the agriculture ground, and that from the farming field that we will get the data from the field at actually in a remote with the Internet of Things into the cloud server, and that is every time we do get that. And this is how you will get all the data, and then what you can do, you can put the different devices and you can put the machine learning algorithms and a data analytics to process those data. So this is the one of the use cases. The next use case is the agriculture drones. Agriculture drones are also an automated system as well as unmanned system which you can use for the in agriculture, and these drones are using a different kinds of sensors which are helping to understand that is easy to manage the large size of farms, and you can get the data with the digitally, and that data is digitalized, saved in your application in your server, and you can anytime you can use it for the analytics and analysis purpose as well as to do the forecasting as well and get the real time data. Third, I can say that live stock tracking and geofencing. So you can also utilize the wireless IoT application to collect the data regarding the location, well-being, and healthcare of their cattle. That means you if you have a think about the farm, you have a sheep farm or a cow farm, and you wanted to manage those things, and you want to also know where are these. So you can use put the IoT devices on them by on a head or on a leg or somewhere else. That can be it will give you the live information where these cattle are, and you can see onto a dashboard that where are they. So it is you will be knowing also the other facts. You can put a different sensor, so you know that if any of the your cattle is sick, you can get the information based on different sensor and the parameters what you have defined into your IoT systems. That is giving you a real-time station, and the best part is that you need not to visit to your fields. You can get it from wherever you are, and you can get the data and information in your mobile application and a dashboard. Next use case are smart greenhouses. A smart greenhouse designed with the help of IoT intelligent monitors as well as controls the climate, eliminating the need of manual intervention. So as of now, you might have seen that there are many manual greenhouses. What are we doing it? We are going to do that. We have to do the monitoring. We have to visit to the greenhouse. We have to see the progress. We also need to check whether is there any issues are coming into the crops. We need to take a handle all these things are manual intervention, whereas if you put the different devices into the greenhouse, you will be able to automate the greenhouse, and everything you are getting updated on your mobile app 24 cross 7 update. We will talk more details in a smart greenhouse section in the upcoming slides, so that's the reason I have marked a separate height. The next I can see the another very use cases for the IoT devices is our predictive analysis for smart farming. So as Dr. Deepak already mentioned that we have a historical data of the satellite, that is image processing, and as well as we can combine the different open source data available plus data which we are gathering from our IoT device. IoT devices are giving a very exact data, that is because it is coming from your own farming field. So that gives you precision farming, that precision data, high quality data, and that data you can use for the predictions as well as analytics for the future purpose, as well as identify the trends and analysis of the greenhouse or a farm. So these are the primary 5 use cases which we can see that the IoT is being used, and that will be drastically change the way the traditional farming we were doing it, and this will help out to our needs, our future needs, because technology is really important to ingest into the traditional way. So these are the 5 systems, and now I'm moving about the things how we are solving the problem, right? So let me talk about something about the farming for all. Farming for all, a smart way to cultivate. We are focusing on the problem, right? The people who are facing the digitization of farming land, people are using over water or less water in the farming land or greenhouse because they are using a traditional system. They do go to the farming field and or greenhouse and visit, okay, check the system by using eyes or a guesstimates, and they fill that the farming land or a greenhouse with the water, and then they come back and do the regular farming. Yes, it is a good way, but yes, it is not an as well as accurate, because you are using a estimates, you are not aware about the scientific facts. People who, if I talk about the farmers, right, if that, do you know the foul soil condition, if I what is the pH monitoring section, what is the pH of the your drink, what is your soil is alkalic or acidic, they said we do not know. More than 600 farmers I have connected with them and took the interviews, me and my team has taken it, and even 96% of farmers have said we don't know about the soil type, we don't know the pH of my system. And some of them have, which says that yes, I have done the testing, but I asked for them, do you have a digitized system, do you know that you have the whatever the test records you have got it, do you have with them? They said no, I don't have it. That means the whatever the data precious information they are have got it for their soil, they do not know, because, and this is how the problem what we are trying to solve. As well as we are also asking the farmers that the very precious thing another is that the fertilizers come with a very costly, and it should be used into the farming land or greenhouse as per the requirement, and that you can only know when you do the testing of your system or your testing of the soil, and based on that you can do that. That also farmers are using their guesstimates, and use sometimes they use overuse or underuse of the fertilizers that may cost harm your farmings, and it will decrease your yields. So as yields are not very good productive and they earn less profit, they are earning profit that it can be more by using a technology. Supply of the agri input seed fertilizers are not very easy to the farmers, that means the good quality, they have to travel to the city. They are saying the we are also not getting help from the industry expert. If we are facing any issues with our farming field, we are depending on the local vendor, whatever they suggest we use that solution and apply into the farming field to get rid of the issues whatever we are having it. So these are the primary concerns of the Indian farming that they are and that we are trying to solve as part of farming for all. So these are the problems. Let's talk about the solutions. Farming for all is a smart farming system based on a industry 4.0. We are using a cloud technology, internet of things, machine learning, analytics, various cloud application and mobile application to cater. Our application comes in a two language, Hindi and English, and more regional language we are planning to support in upcoming days, so that we can have a wider reach to the local audience, and they should be able to read and our application in their own native language. We are also doing the automation of the water motor, and so that people can stop water motor on demand with a mobile application, as well as they can provide a schedule. They can also know the status, how much water has, how much time it took, and what is the water it is being consumed. So everything we are from the generalization, we are coming to the specific scientific facts. That's yes, you will get the exact data of your thing. So this is where you will be also knowing that what is the amount you have spent in your farming field and how much you have gained it. 24 cross 7 update on a greenhouse, soil moisture, farming farmland, pH, like soil moisture, pH level, temperature, humidity, and light intensity. As of now, we are using of these 5 sensors into our system. We are planning to use many different services, and it's including an NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium sensors, so that we can know the with our technology that what are the nutrients present in the farming field or a greenhouse or anywhere we are doing it. This particular system is best suited for any farmland, greenhouse, and including a vertical farming. So we are also coming up with a smart garden that I will be coming up in later sections whenever we are going to organize, so that I will share how the smart garden and a vertical farming is possible with our system. So today's session we will focus on the greenhouse section, how these technologies can be used in a greenhouse section. So according to maintain all this, we have developed two devices. One is a smart controller. You can see the image in the smart controller. A smart controller is responsible for automating the your water motor, as well as it is interacting as a gateway. So so we have a cloud application server which is stored in a remote location and a cloud based, and this smart controller is interacting and sending the data from which is being collected via a smart data collector. It is sending to the cloud application, and that is all the data is being stored into a cloud. and that cloud application is able to accessible from anywhere that we are able to access it out. So this is also playing a very important role, that is a gateway to between a cloud application and the ground sensors. This device uses two technologies. We are using a GSM and a Wi-Fi. So these are the two mechanisms which we are using as a communication system. So by using these, they can interact with the internet, and that is the reason it is mandatory. You have to put into the Wi-Fi network, or you have to put in the area where the mobile network is coming. And this mobile GSM we are using as a 2G network, so that it can have wide range of serviceability, and we can also utilize these devices into the village and a remote location as well, where the network comes. What are the features in a smart controller? What we are giving it? A smart controller is the indoor and outdoor use. You can simply plug and play in existing system. That means there is, if I am going back to the system, so in the behind section there is a plug where you can go and plug the device, any device which is up to a 1 horsepower, that you can plug it into my, and that device can become a smart device. I'm just going back to next. So it is easy to use, simple plug-in. It is just like a stabilizer that you are seeing at your home for a TV or a refrigerator. You just plug in your water meter, and then it will make that device as a smart device. It is a multi-purpose use, and that can, because it has, we have designed in such a way that it has can contain 1 horsepower water, that is the capacity, any motor. So you might recently you have seen the locust, right? Locust attacks, and that, and a huge sound was making a great impact to save their farming land. So what you can do, you can put a big speaker which is up to a 1 horsepower and plug it into a device, put it into a remote location, and from there you can put anywhere, and you can blow the speaker on demand whenever which you need it on with your mobile application from anywhere in the world. That can save you. You can also plug in the various you can plug in into the these devices with the your camera, and other different multi-purpose use are coming. So this is a multi-purpose device which we have developed it, and that will be changing the way how the farming, which we are the farming, the way it is the traditional farming to a futuristic farming and advanced farming systems. This is our the second device that we call it a smart data collector. This smart data collector is it is equipped with a various smart sensors, and we are using an Internet of Things. So as of now, I said we are using a 5 sensor: soil moisture sensor, pH sensor, temperature sensor, humidity, and a light intensity. So the sensor which you are seeing that in the image, it is a pH sensor. It is a 6-inch long sensor which will go deep inside into the farming field, and then it will start sending the data. We also on the backside there is a soil moisture sensor, and other sensors are already embedded into this device. So this is the device which you need to put into the farming field or a greenhouse, and this device will be connected with a smart controller, and it will start sending data. And it, with this device we are able to get every minute of data in your system in the farming field. So the test, now I'm going to ask about again then the soil moisture test and pH test. The mandate is that the farmers are not doing it. Here every minute you can do the same test, and the data is being saved into the cloud server, and you will be able to get the data entire. So that means you are able to digitize your farming land or greenhouse, as well as you have got the digital data in your mobile application that we are going to process it with a machine learning and a big data processes, so that analytics will come and you can get the trend also. If you get the 1 year data, in the 1 year data we will be able to show you what is the trends of the pH, it is up and down, how the soil moisture is going up and on, based on a temperature analysis, and we will be able to do the predictions and forecasting for the upcoming. And we also get the analysis, we can also use these data to be the research people that and how that can be become the analysis, that what are the things we can grow for the future specific. So once you have the data, you can use it for the various research process. My important thing is that you need to have a data, and that we are getting it from these IoT devices. So what are the features we are having in the smart data collector? A smart data collector or is used for the indoor and outdoor use. Maintain historical soil moisture, pH level, and other sensor, whatever sensor we deploy it over there. It can do the analytics and predictions and the forecasting as well. All the data is encrypted while data transfer from data collector. So if anybody has it, they were still not able to understand the data what is being there. That is the safety mechanism we are using when we are sending the data from one device to another, and when we are sending that device from controller to cloud. So all the data is encrypted. So your data is completely safe, easy to use. You just need to plug it in, and because this device is a battery operated as well as a solar power is operated. So if in the remote condition, you do not to worry. You just need to plug in our solar. You need to use a solar power, and then it will be working with the battery of solar. So natural resources, we are going to use it. You need not to worry about the how to put the battery, or you need to not to worry how to give the electricity to the system. Easy to operate, easy to plug in into the farm, garden, and so you need not to worry. You just need to plug in these devices any farm and garden. So that is really easy. You need not to make here heavy lifting and shifting into your devices. No, nothing. You just need to plug in whenever you want it to remove. You can plug it out on your. You will get your farmland or a system in the same way the way it was before. So these are the features which we have considered. Now the third thing what we are having it is right, the mobile application. The mobile application and web application, we do have it. As of now, it is coming into the Android application, and in upcoming next 2-3 months we will be launching our iOS application as well. So what are the features are available into the mobile application? Easy to operate. Languages, as of now we are supporting Hindi and Hindi, English and Hindi. Many more language will support in future. Operate and manage farm from anywhere. Connect with the domain and industry. By using our mobile application, you can request a call to connect with the industry experts, having a many industry where we are already having 100+ industry experts onboarded into a system. Like a doctor on call, you can get a agriculture expert on your call. Whenever you need, you just need to set up a call with us, and we will provide you, and you will get the data. So, and you also know that to whom you are talking, all the details of the agricultural expert will be shared with you. So you know to whom you are talking, what is their expertise, and based on you can select the industry expert and talk according to your need. If you do not know, you can come back to us and we can share their problems. Our team will know what is the best person we will allocate to you. Purchase agriculture input. So you also utilize the mobile application as to purchase and sell, so that you can also bringing here. We are helping the farmers to bringing from local to vocal. Any products farming or any product which you are producing, you can upload into the our application, and that will be available to our users, and production that is available. People are onboarded into our web application as well as mobile application. So you get the global access. Many corporates, we are talking with them. So we are also trying to onboard the government officials as well as into the corporate to our system, so that farmer can get details of. They can also have a they can also have the people that who can purchase their serve directly. So it is also supporting. So the recent agriculture bill has been passed by the government, and that will help the farmer to get the access. So the most of the farmers are worried, right, how we are going to the global. So this is the application which will help you out to go to the global, and you need not to worry. You just need to sitting at your place, put the systems and available. If you are facing any issues, we have a various our peoples are available who can help you out to do this. So this is a really, this mobile application farming for all is really playing a very important role for local farmer to become a global. And we are having a recently we have connected with our Japanese partner, Mr. Kotaro Fukuoka, who has shown keen interest, and they have visited our of corporate office as well. And they are able to, they are really launched to, they are to sell these type of devices in Japan. We are also talking with the other people like countries, African countries and Middle East. Our partners are there. We are setting up the partner channels to sell them. So people are getting onboarded into a system. They will have access to the world class people and a corporate, and they can sell it their local things to the globally. And we are going to provide the network. Easy to operate and easy to plug in any farmer device. So these are the three prime things what we have developed as part of the farming for all. Now I would like to show you the dashboard. This is how the application our looks. Whenever you download application, you can see the various application, and you can watch that sorry, just sorry. So you can see the first screenshot. This is the homepage of the Farming for All application, where you can see the uh, some logos and or soil moisture, pH, temperature, humidity, sunlight, and RSI, SSNR. These are the things that are available, which will give you a historical data which is being stored into the application. If you wanted to see how the data, whatever the recent data has been sent by the dashboard, this you can see into the way it. This is the screenshot. So you can see the on the top, the farm range is mentioned as you garden, a controller ID is mentioned, a data collector ID is mentioned, and you can see the soil moisture, pH, sunlight, temperature, RSI, humidity, and SNR. So these are the things which is being captured from the devices on a real time basis, and you can see at a time in this way from your mobile wear application. If you wanted to see how much the water is, water motor has been, the third screen you can see start time and end time and the duration. So 6:25 a.m. your water motor has been started, ended at 6:30 a.m. and total 5 minutes of duration your water motor has been. So this kind of a precious data and digital data you can see from our mobile application. You can all the details you can watch it, you can see the all the data, and this is how you know that how much time your water motor have been consumed. What if the water motor has, what is how much the water it is been dispensed from the water motor, how much electricity you have consumed for the specific to the farming. So this is how you can know, we will be knowing it, what is the actual expenses you have made in the farming land, and then when you are selling your farming, you will also know that what is the benefit you have got it. And we, based on our data, we can assure that by using our application, farmers can save the 10 to 15% of expenses, as well as they can increase the and collaboration that around 25 to 30% productivity will be increased, and it will be more aware about the scientific fact, no guesstimates, all the data which we are using as a scientific fact, and it is proved. This is the service what we are offering, farming as a service. So there are many corporate people are having a very huge farming land, and they are facing many challenges. Their manual manpower challenges are there, and we are offering a farming for all. So people who are having a farming land from 5 acre to 50 acre or more and facing issues, they can connect with us, and we can help them of farming with our deployed devices and expert. We do that. We use that. Apart from these are the IoT devices, we also use the drone services. We have a different tie-ups with the different partners, drone services and other agricultural systems we are planning to use into as part of farming for all, farming as a service. And that is a completely digital farming, and it is very useful because we are going to use the technology, so less manpower will be used, as well as you will be having a very efficient way to manage the devices. We use IoT devices and other latest technologies to do farming. Informations are available to all stakeholders on a mobile application, as well as a regular communication with the meeting, as well as monthly or quarterly meetings. A dedicated farming expert will be deployed to each farm. We are associating our dedicated farmers who experts who is having a multiple years of domain expertise, and they can, under their guidance, these farm will be doing a farming. So we have a different controllers and devices, so along with the human intelligence as well. We already have 100 plus farming experts from all over India, and some of the from the onboard abroad also onboarded into our system, and they are ready to support our service as a farming as a service. This is very useful, and they will see the difference. And by doing the soil analysis and different things, we are also promoting that what are the best way, how many greenhouses are required, how to increase the what are the precision technologies we need to, that has been discussed with the domain experts. So this is another service what we are providing it up. Now I am more interested to show you the pilot project. This is the pilot project we are doing as part of our farming for all project, which is started from 10th of November at the greenhouse at Sharda University. So this greenhouse is situated into the Greater Noida Sharda University campus, and in association with the Sharda University, and under guidance of Dr. Gaur and Dr. Amit Sehgal and my expert team, we are doing this pilot run, and Dr. Uzma and Dr. Ashutosh are playing a key role to manage this. Their expertise are being used. So this is the greenhouse, which you can say this is the first day before before inputting the data, our devices, this is the greenhouse it would look. I'm showing you the step by step progress what we have made in as part of smart greenhouse manage. So this is a completely manual greenhouse, and now we are using our devices to make this greenhouse as a smart greenhouse. The next system, this is how we are growing, that we are started digging the details and the putting the drip irrigation. Drip, we are using a drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a very mandatory step because this ensures that each and every area of my greenhouse or farming land is irrigate the water equally in every area. So that is this is the prerequisite for our smart devices, that you must have a drip irrigation in your system. If you do not have it, then you have to put a drip irrigation system before using our devices. So now we have the, you can see that we have planted the, after some that the cherry tomatoes, we have planted seedlings, and these seedlings we are already developed by the ICR Pusa New Delhi, and that seedlings we have put it into the greenhouse, and now we are started treating it the regulars. So we have this is, you can see we have already deployed our uh, data smart data collector. This is the detail view and the greenhouse section. One smart data collector is sufficient for one greenhouse of up to 200 yards or more. Then you can put a one device, and that what you we suggest you that you need to every week you have to shift the device location so that we can get the data from different places. So devices have been put. You can see the one of our farming expert is operating it with a mobile and enabling it to them, and we are getting all the data into our subsystem. We have also deployed a water motor, a water tank, and a water motor has been deployed so that we can manipulate. One important part I missed to tell you, that this greenhouse is divided into two parts. One half part is divided, half part is irrigated with a manual process, and half part we have deployed our devices so that we know what is the difference, how the difference is from the manual, what are the additional details, and what are the additional benefits which we are having it from the manual to automated system. So here we are doing our devices in our real ground, so that under the guidance of our industry experts, and they are assessing it with our different methods. So here you can see that we have already added a water tank and a water motor into the greenhouse. This is, you can see the on a first screen where we have put our Wi-Fi device, Wi-Fi network, as well as a water smart controller. So this is a smart controller which is useful for controlling, getting the data from the sensor, and it is sending to the data from the cloud and the cloud. Now we have already given an electricity over here, because since here we are using a electricity and a battery operated system, we are not using a solar system. So we have made, this is a completely green, this is a greenhouse, it is a controlled and a waterproof. So here we can use the electricity as that. So this is the next. Now I'm going to next section. Here we have already started the capturing the data and monitoring regularly. With that, there I am explaining the greenhouse operator, which is responsible for managing the operator. They are also explaining the details, that what are the different data we are getting captured into a system, and they are seeing that. So this, as when you are saying about the manually, you do not have anything. You just need to depend on the system, your person who is operating it. If the person is something sick and well, then you need to find out another person, then you will get the data. However, if you are utilizing with a smart system, then you can use, you are not dependent, anybody can get the data at your smart devices. In the next picture you can see that my team members are also, we are standing on a different location from the farming far away location from the greenhouse, and also we are able to get all the data from there. Now the question is coming, the how the my smart systems are giving a data, right data, how do we ensure? To ensuring that part, we are doing a manual test. This, you can see the pH meter, we are utilizing it from the manual system. So manual system also we are doing a regular test with the traditional methods for soil moisture, pH and humidity, and we are comparing with the data which is being generated by the smart devices. And here you can see in the next picture, we are processing, getting the soil moisture under the guidance of Dr. Ashutosh, and the other team members are doing it. So this is how, so this way we can say that the device is getting certified with the industry experts. Yes, this device is working for. So after the completion of the pilot launch, we will be knowing what is the accuracy of the devices, how much accurate, whatever the tuning is required, we will do that, and that will be done before the commercial launch. So as of now, the system, we are doing a complete pilot run. Now you can see after this is the yesterday's picture which I am seeing. The plants had grown up is a very good height. And if I talk about the last week and current week data, we have seen a significant growth in a smart farming section, that around 8 inches of growth we have recorded per plant sizes. So this is all about our the prizes. Now I would like to show you the what are the different awards and appreciation we have got it. So recently, Farming for All concept have been appreciated by the Swadeshi Savalamban Abhiyan and associated with the IFCO and accorded at a Prayagraj. And my father is receiving the certificate of recognition on behalf of me. This is the one award we have received in on 25th September. We have so we have also pilot launch, soft launch we have done on a 21st October. Farming for All officially launched, and these are the media coverage. Then the 26th December we have got another media coverage at the Dainik Jagran, where they have completed, they have seen our demo, and then all the details have been published. So in the what we are planning in the January 2020, we will be open for the commercial launch, and by end of the December we will be publishing the greenhouse pilot report, first phase of pilot report. However, our pilot report will be pilot project will be continuing till the till the April or May, until unless we are not getting the fruits into these cherry tomatoes, and we will also consider the different fruit level and a branching of the various. So by the pilot run will be completed around the second phase will be completed around April 2020. So these are the things as per my and you feel free to ask any questions if you have. These are I want sharing the section. Now you can ask the question. Thank you.